It's been a while. I don't think I've made a brisket in the new house, so it's been at least 2 years since I've cooked a brisket on the big green egg. I'd really like to make one because I miss it. I usually go and get like one of these 17, 20-pound briskets, which is the whole flat and the point. I'll make sliced brisket out of the flat. That gives you sandwiches, barbecue plate, whatever, and then the point we cube up into burnt ends, and that's going to be our our appetizer, things on stuff people can snack on. Coronavirus, haven't had a party since Christmas, which sucks because I like partying and entertaining. So it's been a long time since I made a brisket. I'm feeling like making brisket. We got a vacuum sealer now, so I'm going to go ahead and make a brisket, and from there we will vacuum seal what we don't eat, and that way I have fresh brisket whenever I want it, because the vacuum sealer is awesome. So we're going to head to Sam's Club, pick up a brisket. I'm hoping they have some whole briskets and they're not massive, because again, it's just for me and Steph. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Here's my kind of how-to video on how I do brisket. Everything I learned from a barbecue standpoint, I learned by watching How to Barbecue Right. A guy named Malcolm on YouTube. I think he lives in Mississippi. Boy knows how to cook. So from chicken, brisket, prime rib for Christmas, smoked Thanksgiving turkey, I learned everything on Malcolm's YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and link it up here in the top so you can check it out if you want to see how he does his stuff, because he's like competition barbecue or lazy day barbecue for the family. I kind of interpreted it and changed it my own way. So here we go. So Sam's Club had two briskets, two whole briskets in the entire store. And one was choice and the other's prime. Thankfully the prime wasn't as massive. This one was, despite being a little bit more per pound, cost-wise, is actually a little bit lighter, which, you know, I don't need to. This is a 14 pounder. I didn't need the 18 pounder they had in choice. We're gonna make a brine, AKA we're gonna put this in beef broth for 24 hours, cover it and put it in the fridge. But the first thing I wanna do is, there's this huge cap of fat right here. I'm just gonna trim to about right here, halfway through the brisket. I'm gonna trim some of this cap off so we get the beef exposed. And then the fatty side, the point, we're gonna cube up after it's done cooking, put those back on in some barbecue sauce, and that'll give us our beautiful burnt ends, which are like the most awesome appetizer ever if you go anywhere for barbecue. So I'm gonna clean up this brisket, pat it dry, clean off some fat, put our beef broth on, and then put it in the fridge for 24 hours. One last tip, I'm gonna put the brisket in fat side up when I cook, as well as while it's brining, because I want the beef to get all of the flavor and all of the juices. The fat is theoretically gonna melt as you're cooking, and I want that to kind of come down and seep through the beef, so it gives it that really nice fatty flavor without having so much fat on it. So I'm gonna make sure that when I'm doing everything with this brisket that the beef side is down and the fat cap, which is right here, you can see, is up. That way it sucks up these beef broth juices. I could inject it, but I'm not going to. All right, next morning, getting the egg heated up. We're gonna get that to 275. I'm gonna toss in some hickory chunks and the plate setter. In the meantime, I'm gonna take the brisket out, clean it up, and go ahead and start applying our spices, which is basically gonna be salt, pepper, garlic, and red chili flakes. highly recommend some high temperature gloves. But, alright, so the grain of our brisket is running this way, and you kind of want to cut against the grain. And I'm going to go ahead and use our handy dandy electric knife. So grain's this way, that means that that's going to be our flat, and this is going to be our point. Wow. Just going to get a close-up action here of the juices running out of that brisket. I want to save as much of that as possible. We're going to leave the egg at 275, maybe even 250. We'll see what it comes down to. I want to get some more smoke and heat on those, and then we'll come back out in like 15 minutes and we're going to paint, we're going to baste some of these to make sure they continue to get sauce on them as they cook and build that crust. I sliced my brisket just over a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch thick. Decent smoke ring, definitely tender, juicy, not dry at all. I'm going to go ahead and give some of this to my dad and his fiance, and we're going to make some brisket sandwiches a little bit later, but let's go back out and check on those burn ends. Another 15 minutes and we'll be there. It's dinner time. We're going to go ahead and make these sandwiches. I like heat, but I'm going to do a little sweet and heat, and Stephanie likes hers sweet, so I'm going to go ahead and make hers first, but don't need a ton of barbecue sauce with this brisket, but she's not going to like hers hot, and I like mine hot, so I'm going to do just on one side. And then we'll go ahead and place our brisket. I'm going to put some jalapenos, a little red onion on both of them. You want coleslaw on yours?
On my sandwich?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you're weird.
I mean, sure. Did you toast bread?
I did toast the bread.
Okay.
Do you want coleslaw or not?
Yeah.
I'm only putting a little bit. And then Frank's. I keep losing my knives. Every time I have a knife, I lose it. So we've got our burn-ins, our coleslaw, our Publix Gouda mac and cheese from the deli, because that shit is fire. And then toasted potato bun, jalapenos. Not on yours. Smoked brisket, red onion, and coleslaw. You having a little trouble over there?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. I miss doing this. I miss having people over for parties, because that's when we cook it.
So, if you're not having parties, this would be the time to perfect your brisket.
My brisket's pretty damn good, girl.
Exactly.
We got.
So you really can't have parties.
Even though I gave my dad a little bit, we still have like 10 pounds of this left that we will be vacuum sealing for a later date when I don't want to spend all day making brisket, and I just want to try it, because after you cook it all day, you smell like smoke, you smell like the barbecue pit, and you really need a break from it. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to give one of these burn-ins to Mr. Eric Lowney. He's been asking all day. Thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you think of this video. I love making barbecue. It's been a long time, and I don't think I have any barbecue on my channel yet. So, again, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.